The DNA of the Raizal inhabitants of San Andres, Providence, and Catalina is a beautiful carpet made with threads of diverse ethnic origins. The Raizal people, we are descendants of enslaved Africans, European colonizers from different grounds, and indigenous people from the Caribbean region of Central America. This unique blend of ancestries has given us a rise to a rich and vibrant culture that is truly one in a million. We the Raizals, we are very diverse. We are product of a melting pot phenomenon of a couple centuries, and understanding this will give us the perspective in order to find ways to explain our differences, because even though the human race is one single race, our ethnicity background make us have different ways of approaching the world. The Raizal culture is a testament to the resilience and the creativity of the people who have called these islands home for generations. In modern days, we have the technology to discover the origin of our DNA. And here, I will share you one example of our diverse background.
About 8 years ago, I started doing research on my family tree and my origins. That would allow me to see who I'm related to and what different aspects of my tree would be affected by my ethnicity and where I really come from. So I want to show you how my DNA is currently built as a Raizal. So if I click here as a result summary, and I look here at the Discover Your Origins, this is more or less the breakdown of how my blood is currently set. So most Raizal people are at least in part Nigerian, so that Cameroonian, and that comes basically from our African ancestry via Jamaica for the most part. And as you probably know, San Andres and Providence, and certainly St. Catalina, were populated by escaped Jamaican slaves and sometimes by plantation owners from those countries. The indigenous Americas and Panama and Costa Rica, which is over here, that basically tells you that we have a strong rooted affiliation with the Mosquito Nation. So anybody who has Nicaraguan family and certainly family in Honduras and maybe up in Belize and those places. And of course, we have a strong English and Irish and Scottish influence. In my particular case, that comes from the Bent. The Bent family originated in England and certainly made their way to Massachusetts before they went to Jamaica and finally to San Andres. I also happen to have a strong Archibald influence and Hawkins influence, so those are the three main family roots that are associated to my descendants. Then we have, I want to call your attention to Sweden and Norway, Sweden and Denmark and Norway. And that's because, particularly in my case, I'm a descendant of the Chagrin, and the Chagrin, as everybody knows, they come from over Sweden in particular. So that's kind of where my influence comes from. Then we have the Portuguese influence. Well, surprisingly, the Gomez in my family, we are Portuguese descendant. We're not Spaniards descendant. And that explains why we have that lineage to the Portuguese. So most people would say, well, you have a Z in your last name, in your Gomez name. Well, remember that Portuguese write Gomez with S, and the Portuguese then made their way to Hispaniola or around Cuba, the Cuban area. And then in order to assimilate, to fit in, they had to change the S to a Z or Z. And then around the 1800s, 1820s, they made their way down to Cartagena, and from Cartagena to San Andres or Old Providence in that time. So about around the 1850s, the Gomez have been eradicated in Old Providence, and you have some obviously very important Gomez in the Gomez lineage. You have Mariano Gomez Shogreen, that's my father, and everybody know him as Professor Mariano. But you also have other Gomez like Terencio Howard Gomez, also a family member. That's basically my DNA constitution. I am glad to share this with everybody, and I encourage everybody to get a DNA test, whether that's with 23andMe or Ancestry. I personally prefer Ancestry. Thank you for the opportunity, and talk to you soon.
In a world that is becoming more and more standardized, the preservation of the Raizal culture is more important than ever. It serves as a reminder of the beautiful and richness that can emerge when different cultures come together in harmony. And it is a shining example of the power of diversity and inclusivity. The DNA of the Raizal inhabitants is a testament to the beauty of cultural diversity, and it is a legacy that must be cherished and protected for generations to come.